We were scheduled for 9 hours of bargaining today from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. After handing proposals to the school committee promptly at 10:15, we spent 4 of those 9 hours waiting for them to respond. When they finally did, what we saw was more of the same. They took 4 hours to make small, common sense changes in language, 4 hours to make minuscule movement on humane modern parental leave, 4 hours to make the kind of responses that would have been appropriate in October of 2022, but not today. Mayor Fuller and her school committee are still living in the reality of last week, of last year. But after 98% of educators voted to take extraordinary action on Thursday, action which is a reflection of how serious we are about reaching an agreement that supports our students, respects educators, and provides us with the resources we need to do our jobs, that is not the reality we live in anymore. The NTA remains committed to settling a fair contract and getting everyone back to school as quickly as possible. But given the school committee's slow pace and lack of urgency, we do not expect there will be an agreement by Monday. Mayor Fuller has defunded the schools for years, and the dramatic damage that she has done requires a dramatic solution. We want the Newton Public Schools to remain a beacon of equity and excellence. We want the Newton Public Schools to lead. We want every student in the Newton Public Schools to have the resources and supports they need to receive not just a median education, but an excellent one. Newton's educators are bravely doing what Newton's elected officials have been too cowardly to do. We are standing up for the children of this city and saying in one collective voice that enough is enough. Parents and students and community members rally with us. We are not alone. They march with us. They stand with us on every corner of this city, and they are demanding that Mayor Fuller fully fund the Newton Public Schools. We call on the school committee, after 16 months of stalling, to defy Mayor Fuller. Stand with us and settle a fair contract that will breathe life into the system that the mayor has tried so hard to dismantle. Stand with your constituents who are demanding that you do what is best for their children. Mayor Fuller and her school committee's refusal to listen not just to us, but to their own constituents remains the greatest obstacle to progress. This city wants to do the right thing. It's only their elected officials that stand in the way. Thank you.
Can you speak to some of the emotions that you saw in that room there as you negotiated?
I saw anger. I saw frustration amongst my negotiating team. Anger, frustration. Sometimes we had some hope. I think we came out of our first meeting with the school committee thinking that we were in a better place. And then they handed us proposals that just weren't reasonable in this place that we're in right now.
And how about your response to the mayor saying that this teacher strike is illegal, going against state law?
It is illegal. We are going against state law. We're standing up for our students. We are engaging in civil disobedience. Yes, that is true.
I was just going to say, talk about how you guys are really taking a stand when a judge has ordered that you must be back in the class on Monday.
We're going to defy that order. We are going to have to defy that order. We pleaded with the school committee to reach an agreement with us so that we wouldn't have to be out Monday morning. And they just came back as if we were in, as Ryan said, October 2022.
Looks like no progress has been made in your opinion?
We made some progress, but it was far too slow. We handed them and asked them to address issues that we had long gone over and that we should be able to reach an agreement on now and get them out of the way because they should have been agreed on a long time ago and move on to the real more substantive issues.
What are the biggest issues that are?
Oh, we've got a lot of issues. I mean, we are really concerned about the mental health of our students and about the resources that we have to deal with those issues. So one of the issues we've got on the table is we need a regular education social worker in every elementary and middle school and in the preschool. Of course we need reasonable cost of living adjustments. We've been bargaining for that as well because our members took an 8 or 10% cut in their wages because of inflation over the last 2 years. So we're bargaining for wages. We're bargaining not to have them impose more costs on us for health insurance. We're bargaining for improved prep time, increased prep time for elementary school teachers. We're bargaining for adequate substitute coverage. We're bargaining for improved and modern and humane parental leave policy. There's a lot of issues that we've put on the table that across the state, local unions and their school committees are reaching agreement on, and Newton seems to think that they can maintain an excellent school system while remaining in the dark ages in terms of what they're offering their teachers.
Coming out of negotiations yesterday, it seemed like union reps were saying there was a little bit of hope because there was a little bit of movement and a positive light for you guys. Are you feeling that same sense of hope as you leave today?
My hope does not come directly from what's happening at the bargaining table. My hope comes from the strength of the membership of the Newton Teachers Association, and that has been loud and clear from the get-go.
Do you see them budging though?
Do I see them budging? Not yet. Not really. We reached a couple very commonsensical agreements that we should have reached a long time ago. Yeah, that's progress. We're sitting at the table with them. They hadn't sat at the table with us since July. So yeah, in that regard, I think we're making progress, at least in terms of process. At least they're willing to sit at the table with us and bargain. But they aren't bargaining in a way that indicates that they understand the urgency of the situation we're in right now. Our kids are not in school. That's an urgent situation, and they don't seem to get it. Teachers don't take a step like this to go on strike lightly. They don't want to be out here. That's not why we came into the profession. But right now we're out, not just because we're defending ourselves, but we want better working conditions and better learning conditions for our kids. But as much as anything, I think we're standing up for our profession. And I think anybody that reads the newspaper nowadays knows that our profession is under threat. And we're standing up and saying, no, not here. Enough is enough. This is a wealthy community. We need to be a beacon of hope, not just for the kids here in Newton, but for our profession, for everybody that walks into a school anywhere in this country. We are standing up for them too, and we know it. We know that.
Did you think you were going home tonight with an agreement?
No.
What has
But I
changed?
thought we'd make progress.
What has changed today, if anything, from yesterday, and what is scheduled for tomorrow?
We reached a couple minor tentative agreements. We are bargaining with the school committee at the table. Now, that may not sound like much to you to be bargaining at the table, but when we haven't been, it's important. What's going to change tomorrow?
No, what is scheduled for tomorrow?
The schedule for tomorrow is from 10 to 7. Come back out here tomorrow. We'll be here to talk to you again. But we'll be entering into the second day that we're out of the schools if we're out here again tomorrow telling you that we don't have an agreement. So I think it's going to be important that you hear from us.
Is the mayor in the room in the negotiations?
No, we've asked her to be in the room. She's not. She says to the people, yeah, we're going to be negotiating. She's not at the table. She's the one that holds the purse strings.
Should she be there?
She should be there. Yes, absolutely. She should be telling us, as she's been telling everybody in the city, I have been generously funding the schools, because we will call her out on that one.